Hi, welcome back. In this video, we are dealing with the mesh light in Arnold. Arnold Mesh Light is a type of light source that can be used to create a unique lighting effect. It's a part of Arnold renderer, which is used to create a realistic lighting if the traditional lights are not capable enough to handle the shape of the model, meaning that it will be turn any geometry mesh elements into a glowing light. Let's get started. Let's create a torus. Go to create menu, polygon primitives, and select torus. Let's reposition this geometry. We will also reframe the witness camera for a proper composition. Select the geo, Arnold light, mesh light. In the outliner, the light is created inside the geometry as an instance. Let's increase the exposure to 80 maybe. Let's do a preview render. Let's increase the samples. So there is a light visibility allows us to visualize the shape of the geometry. For light and color variations, we may need to connect a texture in color channel. Click on the checker icon. Select the files and browse the color texture you want to project. Now there will be a breakup in the illumination and color in the scene. And if you increase or decrease the exposure, both geometry as well as the light interactions on the background is also affected. So in order to get a full control on both aspects, we need to treat geometry and light as a separate. We will do a quick setup for that. Show original mesh will be show the actual mesh while rendering. Let's render again. Let's assign a standard material to that geometry. Right click on the viewport, assign new material. From the shader, we need to select the standard surface. And if you scroll down, we can see that the emission slot, which is good enough to handle the material level light illumination. Let's increase the weight up to 1. Let's render and see the updates. In the color slot, we will connect the same texture map where we used in the mesh light. So this will be help us to change the texture tiles at the same time, right? So select the light and expand texture from hypershade. Select the material again. Let's drag and drop the texture from hypershade to the color slot. Let's render again. Now we need to turn off the light visibility because we already connect a material. Let's render this. So now we have two different control to adjust the look. Now let's change the tiling. Now we will add a bit more contrast to the scene. For that, we can connect a color correct node in between the shader as well as the light. Let's do that. Close the render, open the hypershade. Let's search for a color correct in Arnold tab. Select a color correct and connect in between the wire. Out color will go to the input and the color correct node out color will connect to the light color. Let's reconnect the color correct node back to the material as well. Let's render and see the updates. Let's adjust gamma value, so this will be get a good control over the texture map. Animate the hue shift values to get a random color formation. Another important point you should keep in mind that increasing the number of polygons in the model will be, drastically increase the render time. Also, a clean mesh light render, we may require a large number of samples that leads to, render time. Mesh light in Maya have their own limitations. Main use case of mesh light in lighting production is to generate neon light, cove light, any complex light shapes, candles, and generate interactive lights for any ABC cache from FX department. Like, sometimes in lighting we may need to create interactive light passes for FX elements such as fire, fog, etc. So there we will use the mesh light techniques. That's all about the mesh light, and thanks for watching.